My name is Joseph Austin II, and I'm the director and writer of Selah. My inspiration for Selah was to tell a contemporary story about a young woman struggling with the HIV virus, and I guess my inspiration came from not having seen that story before. Like we've seen films where it's addressed from the male point of view, but never really with a female and a female who's living with it. For the most part, we've always seen like their journey where they find out within the film, and we go on that journey with them, but not picking up with somebody who's already who's been living with it for X amount of years. So I just wanted to tell a unique story and a different story, and one that could really a universal story. So it's not just a black film. I feel like it's a colorless film. Like I feel like any ethnicity or gender, anybody can relate to it because I feel like it's a story about humanity, and so that's kind of what inspired me. The genesis of the story, I went to a performance showcase here at the school, and I saw that a student, she performed a monologue, and it was really powerful. And I was like, that's kind of like the film that I want to make. Like out of like her monologue stood out from everybody's, and I was like, that's kind of the film I want to make. I wasn't trying to wow anybody visually. I just wanted to tell a powerful character story. So I just started the name Selah just came to me first, and because I've seen it in the Bible, and I've always wondered what it meant, and so I looked it up and did my research on it, and I found that it meant pause and consider, because I've seen it referenced many times, and I was like, okay. So the name came first, and then of course with that I said, okay, let's make Selah a female. And let's take it a step further. Let's make her an African American female, and let's take it a step further, and let's up the stakes a little bit. So I said, why not tell a story about a young woman's battle with the HIV virus, and how she goes about trying to maneuver in her daily life, dealing with stigmas, how it affects her physically, emotionally, spiritually, and all those things. So that's where Selah came from. What I hope to accomplish is I want people to, after seeing this film, I want them to go home and and look in the mirror and just pause and just reflect on who what they see, and ask themselves, do I love this? Do I love my reflection? And at the end of the day, I think that's what the film is about for me, is loving you for you. It's a film about trying to make life a judgment-free zone. Like everybody has a story. And for me, like, yes, the story is about HIV, but it's more so about, people loving themselves, despite, whether you're missing a limb, whether you have a mental disability, the color of your skin, it could be anything. And so for me, I just wanted to, make the story about HIV because it's like the one thing where people really, put others in a box and they ostracize them, and they judge without knowing that person's story. So I guess to sum it all up, I just wanted to make a film where it forces everybody to look themselves in the mirror, and realize that everybody has a story and everybody's story is important. And before we go out and judge, one another, we need to understand our story so that we can also understand their story.